Hey, hi, hello. My name is Bennett Richardson. I'm going to be recording my answers for the Hot Topic video analysis. We'll start with Mind Your Damn Business by Emily Counts. Her topic was about unnecessary police calls from white people about black and brown people. This is a prevalent topic because marginalized groups are more susceptible to serving hard time for similar crimes to white people. This is a social justice topic plainly because it is acknowledging a social injustice, the injustice being black and brown people being unable to live out their lives peacefully without being harassed by fellow citizens and law enforcement. One piece of information that I learned was in the timeline of recent unnecessary 911 calls. An 11-year-old was delivering newspapers and got the police called on them. Also, the fact that black and brown people are more likely to be convicted. I can't say this is something that I didn't know already, but it's worth repeating, and it was good to, get a reminder of that. It seemed like a good presentation done by Emily. Good job. Next was Compulsory Heterosexuality by Sophia Taylor Burton, and her topic was discussing the theory that heteronormative sexuality is perpetuated by the patriarchy to keep people from expressing themselves. And this injustice comes in the form of an entire world history based in shame, and shaming people for having non-heterosexual deviation, from the norm. By encouraging one viewpoint for our relationships, we limit our capacity to think critically about our society. And after watching this video, one piece of information was, while all the messages and examples were familiar to me, being a queer person, I have considered the effects of heteronormative society a dozen times over. This handout and lecture did build some bridges on how drastically compulsive heterosexuality limits expression as well as critical thinking. As I mentioned previously, it really does. For instance, for me, being a queer person, I've always been thinking critically about how heteronormative thinking really limits what we are allowed or encouraged to think about, and that also changes how we think about other societal institutions such as healthcare and the environment, and we're really meant to stay within the few boxes, at least according to the elite, and letting our sexuality be what it is and be outside of the norm opens a lot of gateways towards other branches of thinking. Excuse me, I went off the script. The last presenter was Andronica Owens, and she was discussing the topic of the effects and the definition of the hypersexualization of Black women. And it highlights the sexual harassment and raping of Black women throughout history. And this is a social justice topic because Black women have been dehumanized throughout all of history. They are the most marginalized community in America, and I'm sure throughout the world, or perhaps throughout the world. I that is an immeasurable concept. I'm sure plenty of research has been done, but this presentation brings attention to this concept and the fact that change is necessary as we move forward in society, especially regarding marginalized groups, and that we are very far from real change, and that we need to keep pushing, especially for Black women and for for the betterment of all humankind. After watching this video, a few things I learned. 18% of Black women report sexual assault. I did not know that figure, and that's staggering and terrifying. And then the rape of Black women was widespread and institutionalized. I'll admit, again, this is a concept that I'm not unfamiliar with, having discussed and studied some of these concepts in the past, but it bears repeating, and it always will be worth mentioning. So thank you. I hope all that recorded. My name is Bennett Richardson. I think I put that out there. Thank you, Professor, if you watched